I'm Robin Hubner, and you're watching WDAY.
40 days to Election Day. Do you know who you're voting for? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the WDAY studios and a debate between candidates vying for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. The candidates are the incumbent, Republican Kevin Cramer, challenger, Democrat George Sinner, challenger, Libertarian Jack Seaman. I'm Dana Mock. Our timekeeper tonight is Jim Danielson. We will begin with opening statements, then questions, answers, and a rebuttal. The questions come from voters, by the way, not the media. And we will end with closing statements from each candidate. Gentlemen, good luck tonight. The order of opening statements was predetermined. Up first, Kevin Cramer.
Thank you, Dana, and thanks to WDAY for hosting us, and of course those along the network. I want to, of course, thank my opponents, Jack and George. This is a remarkable thing that we get to go through together. And frankly, there's nobody else that knows as much about it as the three of us. And so you end up with a bit of a kinship by the time it's all over. But it's a big deal to put your name on the ballot and seek a position, the only position in the House of Representatives for North Dakota. I wake up every morning with the great gratitude and the pleasure of knowing that I have 434 colleagues in the House of Representatives that have to represent something less than I get to represent in representing the people of North Dakota. We are a beacon in this country. We are an island in many respects of prosperity in what is otherwise a bit of a desert in terms of our national economy. North Dakota's got a great story to tell, and I love telling that story. Tonight, I look forward to the opportunity to debate, to talk with you all about the accomplishments of the last year as well as the challenges that are ahead of us. Of course, things change quickly, don't they? Went to Congress looking to start dealing with some of the fiscal issues, get a farm bill passed. Was glad we did that. Went to Congress hoping to pass a water development bill that authorized the Fargo diversion. We were able to do that and a number of other things. And then all of a sudden, crisis breaks out in the Middle East and priorities change. So we've got a lot to talk about tonight. I look forward to the opportunity, and I thank you for the irrevocable gift of your time.
George Sinner is next.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you to WDAY, thank you to my opponents, and thanks to the viewers for looking in. This is an important election, and we all know Congress is broken. We've had a stalemate there, and it's got the lowest approval rating in history. Now with that, I'm anxious to hear my opponents take their positions and justify the positions they've taken, particularly the congressman, many of the polarizing positions that he has taken to delay and defer, cause problems with our country. I have over 35 years of business experience. I've worked with farmers, business folks, and families, helping them solve their problems and find solutions to improve their lives. Tonight, I'm anxious to tell you about what I can do, what I will bring to the table, and how I will work to solve these country's problems. Thank you.
Jack Seaman, your turn.
Thank you, Dana. And again, thank you, Kevin and George, for being here. I'm excited to be a part of this process. And I'm very thankful that you're taking the time to listen in, whether it be on radio or tuning in online or TV tonight. The voters of North Dakota have some very, very important decisions to make coming forward, and it's coming fast. It's going to happen in about 40 days. And I'd just like to jump to a couple of questions that most people are probably thinking right now, and that is, who is this guy? And what's a libertarian? And well, the answer to that is yes, indeed, I of course can win. The Libertarian Party is the fastest growing political party in America. Our membership ranks are going up. Republicans and Democrats are going down. What we believe in is less government and more individual freedom. And personally, I think the federal government has gotten way too big. It wields way too much power, and we all know it spends way too much money, our money. So if I'm elected, anything that I can do to help get the federal government out of your life and leave you alone is something I'm going to work very hard for every day. Thank you.
You guys were all given a minute and a half. Nobody goes over. You're all North Dakota nice. Thank you. Gentlemen, good luck tonight. Now to the questions, and here's our first question of the night.
My name is Caleb Blaney, and my question would be, what are we going to do about these oil and train accidents and what we can do to prevent them?
George Sinner gets the first try at this question.
That's a great question, Dana. I was in Castleton on December 30th, and I saw what happened there. It was very, very scary. Immediately, I went to the Energy Impact, the Economic Impact Committee of the North Dakota Senate to talk about this issue, and brought in experts and asked for something to be done. And what I really found was that our rails were overloaded and our farmers were having trouble. Over the course of the next several months, I had meetings with several farmers and got the Surface Transportation Board. I called them and asked them to come back to North Dakota to have a hearing. At that hearing, I believe I was the only person in the room that put together a solution to directly solve this problem. Safety has to be taken very serious, and we shall do that soon.
Mr. Sinner, thank you. Jack Seaman.
Well, when you're talking about train safety, it affects most of us here in North Dakota because we all see these trains run down the tracks. I own a business here in downtown Fargo, and the train runs by my store about 30 or 40 times a day, and it's about 50 feet from my front door. So we certainly can't have what happened in Castleton happen in one of our population centers or towns. And you know, when you talk about regulation to try and enforce safety, it sounds good, but forcing Burlington Northern to build new cars that are going to take years and years to implement and put in the track, or telling Burlington Northern to build new track that we can increase our capacity, those are good solutions, but they're probably years on down the road. What I would call for is an instantaneous regulation. We could simply put in a fine system for any railroad transport company in this state. If you derail and you have an accident, you pay actual damages plus a very hefty fine, 50 million, 100 million, I don't know, you pick it, 250 million. Then we allow the railroad to regulate themselves, and it happens day one.
Kevin Cramer.
Yeah, thanks for the question. A very good, important question, Caleb. Actually, as soon as that accident happened, I did get in contact with Secretary Anthony Fox, who's become a very good friend of mine, Transportation Secretary. PHMSA Administrator Cynthia Quarterman, who I'm very sad to see has announced her resignation. We're working very well. I might just correct one thing. The STB hearing in Fargo was not about rail safety. It was about rail service and how the railroad is not servicing our farmers and our farm shippers very well. But on the rail safety side, I was very, very honored and touched, frankly, to be the recipient this year of the Golden Spike Award from the Association of Railroad Passengers. And the reason I received the award was because of my not only quick but strong action on behalf of rail safety and on behalf of not only the shippers that move commodities, but certainly the people that move on the Amtrak. So good hearings, not any easy solution. But we also had a hearing recently in the Science, Space, and Technology Committee that I serve on, and testified in T&I Committee. Lots to be done yet.
Mr. Sinner, you started the answers. You get the rebuttal.
The real answer to solving this is long-term investment in infrastructure. We need to invest in pipelines, which is why I sent a letter to Secretary Kerry and the administration voicing my approval and asking them to approve the Keystone Pipeline. But I did one thing more. I asked them to take a look at this pipeline and add in another 100,000 barrels of North Dakota crude that would go into that pipeline on a daily basis. We have to invest in this pipeline. We have to invest in long-term infrastructure to solve this problem.
We will